good evening, and welcome to the inaugural show of Detox Me Now. It's going to be an inside look at the nutritional cleanse. And many of you have seen us on Fresh Natural Live, which comes on Monday evenings at 7 o'clock. And this is our new show that's going to give you an inside look at a lot of the things that we talk about on the Fresh Natural Live show. And so the whole concept of Detox Me Now is where we will take you inside the lives of individuals who are actually going through a nutritional detox. Now, nutritional detox means a lot of different things to a lot of people. In fact, the word detox means a lot of different things to a lot of people. And what we want to do is give you a lot of the scientific evidence. At Montgomery Heart and Wellness, we've been using nutritional detox for more than a decade. We've had thousands of our patients and wellness clients come through our clinic, and we've seen amazing clinical results by people just doing a simple nutritional detox. But what does it mean to do detox? You hear a lot of people talk about detox. I did a detox, I'm going to do a cleanse, and so on and so forth. And when I talk to a lot of our patients or just people in general, and they've done these detoxes, I hear a lot of different stories and a wide variety of things. Well, I did this, and I took these herbs, and I took these capsules, and so on and so forth. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break this down to you. We're going to break it down to you from a scientific standpoint. We're going to talk to you about it from a tactical standpoint. But we're also going to take you into the lives of individuals who are doing it. So this inaugural show is very special. I started working with some friends and colleagues, and we started talking. And I've been planning on doing a raw juice feast for a while, and I've been doing juice feasts for about 17 years. And every one is a different experience. I've gone for as short as 9 days, as long as 101 days, and it's always a new experience. So this year I was planning to do it. I haven't done one in a couple of years or so. And, these detox, you have to get your mind right. Juice feasts, you have to get your mind right. Plan a time on a calendar, set a date. And so I was working out with my trainer, and I think she had been wanting to do a detox also. So she asked me, well, you haven't done your detox this year. When are you planning? And so it had been on my mind. And so one part of me said, yeah, I really need to do it. And you want to, do it as a group. So yeah. And so I called one of my colleagues, a little Fresh Natural Live. And, we'd been talking about it off and on. And she said, yeah, it's time to do the detox. And so I called a few people, friends, and different people I knew who might be interested. And we got a group of about 8 of us who are planning to do the detox together. I say planning to. We are actually into week 1. So this is day 5 for us. So what we want to cover today is the whole concept of nutritional detox. But this show, this initial series, is going to talk about the nutritional cleanse from the standpoint of a juice feast. Now, what is a juice feast? And a lot of people talk about juice fast, and people know about Daniel fast. And we use the word feast instead of fast because, in my opinion, when you're eating at a higher level, when you're eating food that's a higher quality, it's more of a feast. You're feasting because even though you're leaving your chicken wings or your favorite fried foods or pizzas or ice cream, whatever the case may be, when you're eating something that's of a higher nutritional value, in my opinion, it's truly a feast. And the stuff you were eating before was to fast. You were fasting yourself of nutrition, fasting yourself of healthy food, fasting yourself of nutrients that your body needs. But now you're consuming those nutrients and you're removing all those toxins. So this is more of a feast. So a juice feast, by definition, in my opinion, is nourishing your body at a higher level, more hydration, more micronutrients, more phytochemicals, et cetera, et cetera. So without further ado, with all that technical discussion and what have you, I'm going to bring our guest on today. So I'm very proud to announce, let's meet our, I don't want to say contestants, but our juice feast, my juice feast partners, if you will. Many of you know Dr. Celeste Palmer from Fresh Natural Live. Hello, Celeste. How are you doing today?
Hello. Good.
And another one of our juice feast partners is Miss Desiree White. Hello, Desiree. How are you doing? I think she's on mute.
I'm doing well and energized.
All right, good. So the delay, we got some.
No, I'm not on mute. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There's a little bit of delay, but no, it's perfect now. It's perfect now. And now we have a couple.
Okay, great.
And, we have Sean and Taurus Brooks. We want to see. So now you have a juice feast with a couple. So the thing is to see if they stay married during the juice feast. So that's one thing. So, Sean and Taurus Books, how are you doing? And of course, last but not least, the world famous Chef Babette. Chef Babette, how are you doing?
Hi, everybody.
Now, Chef Babette is featured in a juicing book. I don't have it in front of me, but she wrote the opening of a juicing book. What's the name of that book, Chef Babette?
Oh, you're talking about the Juice Guru book?
The Juice Guru.
Yeah.
So
Steve
she's
and Julie Prusak.
Yes, I guess that makes her Juice Gurette. But either way,
No.
but Chef Babette is well known from Stuff I Eat in California, and she just made 35 years old and looks every bit of 25 years old. And so Chef Babette would be juicing with us. So what I want to do tonight, we have our group here, and this is unlike our other show, Fresh Natural Live, because there are going to be some technical aspects of it. But I really want you to bring you into the lives of everybody who's in the program and who's joining us. And I want us to kind of walk through this whole process. And feel free to ask questions and things of the like. But the key is, how do you plan for a juice feast in that dreaded first week? And I'm just going to come up with some general comments in terms of a juice feast in the context of detox. And I just want to kind of get everybody's take on it. But first and foremost, when I do any kind of detox, I've got to get my mind ready. And so the preparation for that detox is really mental first and foremost. And it's not like any other thing else that we do in life. If you're planning for a big performance, if you're an athlete planning for a competition, it's that mental preparation that's really important. And so with a juice feast, you have to prepare because, we're used to eating all the time. And so what I typically do when I'm getting ready for juice feast, I mark a day on the calendar. I say, okay, a week out or 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out, whatever the case may be, I'm ready to start juicing. So I may get some of my favorite foods out of the way. I mean, yes, they're my favorite salads and my favorite nori wraps, whatever the case is. But these foods that I chew, I get my chewing done because I say when I'm getting ready, I get on the juice feast, I'm ready to go. I typically don't eat a lot of junk food. I don't eat the worst stuff. I mean, I don't eat junk food normally, but I don't eat the worst things on my diet because I know that detox is going to be harder, but I still get my chewing out of the way. I still eat more raw stuff and so on and so forth in terms of getting prepared. So it's a mental preparation. I also get my juices ready the night before. Typically the day before, I'll stop eating. I try to stop eating around 2 o'clock. This time I didn't stop eating until about 4:30 or 5 because it was a very busy day, so it didn't go so well in that regard. But that was the preparation that I went through. And typically when I talk to people in terms of that preparation, I tend to say, do the same thing. So to get your mind ready, plan what juices you're going to get. If you're going to juice yourself, come up with a strategy. I always say if you're going to juice yourself, have a backup plan to buy your juices from a certain place or multiple places, just in case your juicer breaks or something happens, you're in the middle of the juicing. So these are some of the basic things I did. So what I want to do, I want to kind of go around the room here and just see what different people did. Sean, why don't you start off, and you and Taurus. I mean, what did y'all do to prepare for the juice feast, and what was your take on things?
Well, basically what we did, when we discussed having it, it was probably the Thursday. I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, when this idea came about prior to the Monday. So Monday was our start off. So Thursday, we started binge eating, I have to be honest. We had all these fruits, vegetables, things in the chips. We had the avocado, guacamoles, and everything. We ate all weekend. As a matter of fact, we ate until we didn't do 2 o'clock. I think our last meal was probably our last supper. We kept calling it our last supper. Our last supper was about 9 o'clock at night. And honestly, I went into it thinking the worst. I thought it was gonna be dreadful, headaches, stomach ache. I was prepared. I went to the store and I was like, okay, should I get some ibuprofen? What kind of medication do I need to get? So I went in dreading, honestly. I went in dreading the fact that I was gonna be so hungry. So I think Taurus was more strong-minded than me. How was your experience getting prepared for it? I was scared. I was nervous about it.
For me, it was more of an excitement. I wanted to see what I was capable of doing mentally, in particular, just seeing was I strong enough to do it. But overall, I'm like Dr. Montgomery. I don't eat a lot of junk anyway, and for me, it was right in line with what I do anyway. And I needed a good detox, so I was willing to do it. My motto was, do it now, either. Spend the energy, spend the time now, or either spend it later inside the hospital, laid across the hospital bed. So I looked at it for an investment. And the night before, so what we did is we did binge eat. And then at the end of the night, we decided to take us some smooth moves to get it back out of us so it won't be so hard on us the next day. But we just wanted to it was psychological. It was all mind games. It was mind games that we played with ourselves. We thought, but now we realized that we didn't have to do all that. It's not nearly as bad as we thought.
So that's great. So basically, there was an anticipation, a little bit of nervousness on your part, Sean, but getting into it, it was something that really kind of it had more of a bark than a bite.
That's right.
Yep. I've heard other people say that. Chef Babette, you're a veteran at this. I mean, the first time we met, you had just finished doing the 30-day juice feast. This is a number of years ago. Tell us, kind of not only give us your technique here, but what have you done over the years? You just had your 70th birthday, and it was like, you're magical at this stuff. So kind of give us your preparation.
Eating is eating, and we're humans. So I don't care how long you've been doing it, you still want to chew. So it does take some mind preparation. Plus, I'm in the kitchen cooking food every day, and so it's challenging, especially when you have to taste and that sort of thing. But it's preparation. I agree. I probably got blueberries in my teeth.
No, we don't see them.
But it is preparation. That is key, and making sure that because I believe in juicing. That's my thing. I like separating the pulp from the juice. But then sometimes I will treat myself, and I'll take my juice and I'll make myself some type of a frozen blended drink out of the juice that I've already juiced, and that works out because my fun drink is going to be beets with pineapple, ginger, oranges. That is just an amazing drink. Oh, with yams and
wow. I've juiced yams once before.
Huh?
I've juiced a yam once before. So you juice yams regularly?
You have to juice yams. If you got,
I've done it before.
Yams and apples with nutmeg. Oh, so delicious. Anyway, yeah. So then I'll blend that and just kind of mix it up so I'm not bored with it. But yeah, it's all about preparation for me too, and it is a mind game. You really have to talk to yourself and make sure you're ready to go on. And now I've never done as long as yourself, Dr. Montgomery. I've never done that length of time, but and a lot of times I'll just go straight hard fasting, where I'm just doing the lemonade fast with the cayenne pepper. That one. Yeah.
And the thing is that, you give some practical points, and a lot of people wouldn't have realized that you can juice a yam. I've done it once, and it's actually pretty thick and filling. And so, it's one of those things where you can add some variety to it. You can do yams plus greens, so it adds calories. So if somebody's doing a juice feast, and let's say you're working out, you're trying to build muscle, or you're training for a marathon or whatever the case is, you can have, a lot of these types of foods that you juice, and they add more calories and give you more bulk and things for energy and so on. So maybe somebody needs to consider juicing a yam one of these days. Desiree, you're next up. What you're muted right now, Desi. What was your approach? Oops.
You're muted. She's
muted.
She's frozen.
Frozen. Uh-oh. There you go.
Uh-oh.
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. I kind of I did the opposite of Sean. I weaned myself off. So I started slowly getting into the habit and the rhythm. One thing I find too is to make sure if I have everything available, that when I get an urge or hungry, I can just grab a bottle. I have to go buy it and look for it. That makes it challenging. Also, because my husband's not doing it and cooking, it's hard to cook without tasting it and the temptation. I meal prep for the week. So I cook all the food for the week in one day. So all he has to do is go take it out, heat it up. So that keeps me out the kitchen.
Gotcha.
But so far, for juice has been really good.
So you send your husband away to eat, and that's, I mean, you raise a great point because a lot of this is strategy. So, you know, some people may be doing a juice feast and you're the only one in the house doing it. And that's been my lifelong experience. So I've been a juice feast and my whole family's eating regular food and I take my kids out, they're eating all sorts of junk. And so you have to kind of go through that. But if you have a way of avoiding those temptations, like you sent your husband away for getting food out, then yeah, that's a good strategy to have. You know, as long as he's okay with that, you preserve the relationship. Celeste, you've done juice feasting before, and a while back, and I think you were talking about the peer pressure. But how did you prepare this time, and how was it different than before?
So this time, we talked about doing this on the 1st and then also on the 15th. And since I didn't really hear anything, I was like, oh, we're going to do it on the 15th. So I was thinking we weren't going to do it. So I was like, okay, we're good. So I didn't really mentally, I really wasn't thinking about it. And I think you sent something out and I was like, oh, okay, let me get my mind right. But that was like a day or so before. So I was like, okay, let me get my mind right. And so when everybody was going to the store, when we were on the call and everybody was in the store, I actually that was on Sunday night. I went to the store after we got off the call.
Oh, wow.
But you know, I've been wanting to do this with someone for years. So it's not like I wasn't thinking. I actually had an injury a couple of years ago. And, you know, I did, well, one, the doctor wanted to do an injection and I did not want that. So then the insurance wouldn't cover the MRIs. Anyway, I started doing alternative things. And I was doing acupuncture and a whole bunch of other stuff. So one day something just said, just stop eating. But this, and I basically had, I don't know if I had a nerve pinch or what was going on, but this whole side was frozen. Mm-hmm. And so one weekend, I just did a fast. And by Monday, I could actually move this arm again. And it had been like a week of me not being able to move the arm. So I don't know what the magic was, but I was like, okay, I need to do this probably for a longer period of time. But I only did that 2 days because I had to go to work on Monday. And I was like, I don't, you know, the stress, and I find myself stress eating. So I said, you know, I'll do it in the future. So it's been several years that I've been saying I need to do it again. And that's why I mentioned it to you. We were kind of like, yeah, we need to do it. So it's very helpful for me to do it with a group because I've been thinking about it for years.
Wow. So the mental preparation was kind of last minute. And, you know, it's interesting that you mentioned having some soreness or musculoskeletal issues, because typically those things are inflammatory. And, you know, Marvin Brown asked the question, has a detox program been beneficial for those who might have myocarditis? And what I will say is that I have not specifically treated somebody with myocarditis with a juice feast. We have had people with myocarditis who go on nutritional detox and get some improvement. Now, there's no studies showing that, but that's anecdotal. So when I answer that question, I say, yeah, I've seen it happen with patients before, but I don't have any case series or studies that I published or anyone else has published that I know of. But knowing that this program decreases inflammation, I can honestly say that because myocarditis is due to inflammation and this program detox decreases inflammation, is a good chance that it likely decreases or has an effect on myocarditis. But I don't like to say outright it does until I actually see it in that specific condition. And, you know, in medicine, people tend to be myopic, even though all these diseases are very similar. Well, if it's, you know, not labeled this, then we got to study something that's labeled this. But the answer probably is likely yes, it does. And I think that's really important. What I want to do is kind of share with the audience, you know, some information we had on our Detox Me Now. And there's some interesting quotes from, you know, healthcare practitioners many years ago. And some of them philosophers and all, but, you know, they said some interesting things, and I dug some of these up offline. I've had them before in my files. And this is by a Greek physician, Athenaeus. Fasting cures disease, dries up bodily humors, put demons to flight, get rid of impure thoughts, make the mind clear, the heart pure, the body sanctified, and raise man on the throne of God. This is Herbert Shelton. Herbert Shelton's I think he's a PhD, wrote books on juice feasting. The weaker the patient, the greater the need to do nothing. And yet it's precisely at such times that heteropaths, doctors like me, all cults seek to do the most, whether it's surgery or pills or whatever the case is. The more you feed a sick man, the more you harm him. Hippocrates says that. Man is the only animal that eats when sick. Continuous eating is uncomfortable. In fever or in pain, bodies builds chronic disease. It is the most rigidly enforced laws of the wild to never eat when sick. That's Herbert Shelton again. And when a patient is so weak that he's unable to turn in bed, possibly in severe pain, and with fever, there's no power to digest food. So what I want to point out here is simply the fact that it's been known for a long time that when we get sick, the ideal thing to do is to fast, to eat less. And not that any one of us are quote unquote sick, but fasting is a healing process. And it has an impact on how well we feel. And you know, Celeste shared that with us. Anybody else who's had, I mean, who owns a dog, by the way? I mean, who has owned a dog? I've never owned a dog. People I know have owned dogs say that, you know, when a dog gets sick, they fast or they eat grass and drink water.
It's true.
And so, you know, with the human beings, only ones that try to eat when we're sick. And so that's kind of the problem that we have. So